Howard B. Wigglebottom Learns to Listen, written by Howard Benko. Meet Howard B. Wigglebottom. Howard is always in trouble at school. Well, because Howard just doesn't listen. During story time, instead of listening quietly, Howard bounces around the room and his teacher says, "Howard B. Wigglebottom, please sit down. Be quiet and listen." But Howard doesn't listen. "Howard B. Wigglebottom, you're bouncing too close to the fan." But Howard doesn't listen. At lunchtime, his friends try to warn him, "Howard, watch your step." But Howard doesn't listen. Blah, 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 blah. After lunch, Howard's friend tries to tell him something important. But Howard doesn't listen. On the playground, Howard's teammates try to help him. "Keep your eye on the ball, Howard." Boink. But Howard doesn't listen. In the art room, the teacher reminds the class, "Kids, try to keep your paint on the paper." But Howard doesn't listen, so the teacher asks him to take a time out. He feels sad. Howard does not like being alone and in trouble, so he thinks about his day. He thinks about how he didn't listen to the teacher and his ears got twisted up in the fan, or how he didn't listen to his friends and he fell on the banana peel in the lunchroom, or how he didn't listen to this friend and he really hurt her feelings by wrapping the yo-yo around her mouth. And he didn't listen in art class. And that same little friend, it looks like, got paint all over her. And then he didn't listen to his friends on the ball field. And he got a black eye because he was hit in the eye with the ball. So Howard makes up his mind from that moment on, he will try to be the very best listener that he can be. The next day, Howard does listen during story time. He waits for his turn to talk and then asks a question about the story. Howard gets a #1 listener star because Howard is really listening. While walking home, Howard uses both his eyes and ears to help stay safe. Howard is really listening. When Howard gets home, he listens to his mother when she says, "Please hang your backpack and clean up your room now." "Okay, Mom." Howard is really listening, and look, he cleaned up his room. So, because he listened, Howard gets extra time to play and have fun. And his little friend, the squirrel, saying, "Awesome ears, Howard." It's time for a bedtime story. Please brush your teeth first, Howard. Howard B. Wigglebottom is really listening. Well, almost all the time. The end. And here's a discussion on how to be a better listener. You sit quietly. You use both your eyes and your ears to help you listen. And sometimes your teacher will say, you use your whole body to listen. You don't interrupt, and you wait for your turn to talk. And you try your very best to understand the person speaking. Ask questions if you don't understand. Remember the rules and directions. Pay attention. That means to be alert and know what is happening around you. And that's how to be a better listener. The end.